we're staying busy, not about how many jobs are on the whiteboard. I'm talking about return on equity, the number that tells you if the business is actually paying you back for the risk the number that tells you it is return on equity. Return on equity is calculated to generate actual net profit. So let's break that down. After everything gets paid, cost of goods sold, overhead, taxes, include your cash you invested, your retained earnings, assets you paid for, earnings you left in the business instead of taking it home, and earnings you left in the business instead of taking it home. So if you put in or retain $200,000 and your business made $60,000 in profit this year, 60,000 divided by 200,000 is 0.30 or 30% return on equity. Here's a real world. You have invested $100,000 in your business. Now, you'd expect rent. If it were stocks, you'd expect dividends. So if your business isn't giving you at least a decent return on what you put in, you're risk, but high effort. It's high risk and high effort. 15 and 19%, well, that's pretty solid. Between 10 and 14%, well, that's acceptable, but leaves little room for error. But obviously, if it's below 5%, you'd make more, not return. They say, we made $100,000 this year. But if they had $500,000 tied up, and that's before taxes and stress, draws and still only see small annual profits. That's not ownership. That's volunteering. So let me give you a real contractor example. Who had a builder who'd kept $300,000 in the company over the years. Problem was his business made $18,000 in net profit last year. That's a losing general contractor relationship. We repriced the most common dollars out of retained earnings to invest in higher return marketing and estimating system. The next year, his net profit was up to $84,000. Equity, $220,000. Return on equity, that's a 38%. Use equity efficiently. Stop letting retained earnings rot in checking. Reinvest in systems, people, or marketing that drives profit. Number 3, I'd say avoid stockpiling too much equity. If the business doesn't need it, take some. The business is getting heavier, not the stress, the weekends, the risk, the responsibility. If your money's in the game, it should be working just as hard as you are. So ask yourself, is your business building equity or just babysitting it? You didn't start this to break even. It's time to make your money work as hard as you do.